Big Time, one of the most highly anticipated NFT games is being released that is AAA quality, MMORPG, high quality, think possibly the World of Warcraft, but incorporating NFTs with a crazy team with the experience to pull this off. I have my reservations, and this is coming from somebody who's invested a significant amount. What was once a very bullish, high conviction play now has me nervous and has risks associated to it, which I'm going to cover. We're going to go over my thoughts of going into this earlier release, what I think of the Big Time NFT game, the company. My name is Jeff. I'm an NFT trader, and I'm here to help you get introduced to NFTs and to understand it better. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a financial dancer. Anything that I say is not meant to be construed as investment or financial advice. NFTs are risky and you can lose a significant amount of money. Full transparency, I have the gold access, so I'll be one of the early players playing tomorrow, and I paid about 1.93, 1.94 for the pass, which is about $5,700. I invested in the gold pass, I have a jade pass, and I also have land, which inside Big Time is called space. This is this land utility. I have 2 exalted smalls and 1 exalted medium. So overall, I'm over invested. And if we were just to total out the costs and the calculations of everything, it would be well over $16,000. This is one of the ones that I was extremely bullish on because I played a bunch of MMORPGs, and the thought of having something that comes first to market that is of this quality with this type of team behind it was exciting. Something that could be the NFT World of Warcraft game. That's one of the reasons why I got excited. So here are all the reasons why I'm bullish and excited about this, even now, about Big Time and the potential of what Big Time could be. Big Time has a docs team, which just means they're a public team. We know their first and last names. We know their reputations. They have AAA gaming experiences with huge companies and huge brands. Companies like Epic Games, Blizzard, EA, Riot. And individuals on the team have worked on notable game brands like Fortnite, God of War, Call of Duty, Overwatch, just to name a few. The CEO is Ari, who used to be the former CEO of Decentraland. So he has experience with the crypto space. They're well funded and have raised about 21 million. When you look at what they were able to raise in 2021, they may have other rounds, but this was the notable newsworthy story when Big Time was starting to get traction. There are other top alpha groups this is being talked about in a lot of the top trading and alpha groups. One of the big ones that I'm in is MVHQ. MVHQ's internal marketing team saw a playable demo where the Big Time team demonstrated the game and did a raid. And after that, the team was extremely bullish on Big Time, and a bunch of the different traders and people inside bought gold passes to be able to participate early. This is a highly anticipated AAA quality MMORPG, which is the first of really this magnitude, size, and hype. It's been covered by all of these big YouTubers. Think EllioTrades, Alex Becker, and when you just search on YouTube, you just see a plethora of a bunch of different videos of people covering it. Another thing that's great about the game is that the time token is an in-game utility crypto that can only be farmed by playing the game, which is good for people who are actually going to play the game. The gameplay reveal premiere video looks good. It looks like it's going to be a fun game, and there's been a lot of thought and time that has gone into this game. Early access gold pass, and all of the early access give you different levels and tiers, but the gold pass specifically gives you 4 weeks of early access before anyone else can play, which includes the silver early access pass. You have the ability to farm up NFT land, which is called space inside the game, and items to sell. The spaces utility land inside the game. Gold pass gives you the ability to farm rare, epic, and legendary space to be able to farm and sell within the NFT marketplace. And to put this in the context, the highest selling land that you can farm is Legendary Space, which right now is selling for 1,595 on the open market right now. Keep this in mind. When people start to play the game, we start to see the utility. The demand may go up, it may go down, but there could be an influx of a lot of more land coming in, which my thought is that it's going to drive the prices of the land down, depending on how easy, how hard it is to farm, and also the demand of the items that you can sell on the marketplace when you're playing this game. Here are all my concerns about Big Time, which is a lot because I used to be extremely bullish and just extremely excited until I started doing more research, listening to the AMAs and listening to the teams. Here are a lot of the different reasons why I am scared and worried. First is the team's implementation of land and space sales, which from a buyer and investor standpoint has been extremely cash grabby. It's just, you can tell that they're just trying to make money. They've released on multiple platforms and they didn't take into consideration of how to balance out the demand and rewarding people who paid a lot of money to get into these sales early, setting these high prices that hopefully will return an ROI, keeping some of these sales open, like the last Exalted sale, where a lot of them didn't sell out. And if you're in the NFT space, when something doesn't sell out, there's like a rush of people and flippers trying to get out, and then you have the floor just keep tanking beyond what would have been profitable if they just didn't release any more land, and a way to reward or at least not mess up the ROI for the people who got in early. Those were things that either the team didn't think about or they didn't just care about. But you have early investors, people spending a lot of money, whether it's bigger traders spending money on Exalted or even smaller traders and players spending money on the lowest tier rare, which is still going to be $100-$200 at the time of this recording. But that's still a lot of money to different people. So the team did listen to the community, and with this oversupply of land, they saw that the community was angry and that investors were angry. And so what they did was they cut supply. They cut the sale so you can't buy anymore, at least at this time. And they cut the open sale, which started to drive prices up a little bit, but not to the point where they were prior to this. So a lot of people were thinking that they should just never released all of these lands, had another land sale until they actually can see the player base and the player and the community can get used to what all of these different NFTs do, the rarity, the demand, and then start tweaking and balancing that. So that was a big concern from people that purchased land initially from like the very first batch. And then when they offered some of the higher rare ones, some of the people being angry about how they handled that sale and not really putting more thought into it. And the overall supply was going to be the 600,000, at least to a lot of us who are watching this and have been part of the NFT community, have been trading a lot. It didn't seem like they put a lot of thought into how many they were releasing in each tier and if it was going to sell out or not sell out, and also to take into consideration the existing people that were already holding land and where the prices were at, because it significantly tanked the prices from where they were at with this new release. So that was one thing. During an AMA, I've listened to multiple AMAs. One of the things they also did not place, or at least by whoever was answering the questions on the team, it seemed like they were not placing an emphasis on balancing tokenomics, the supply, and the in-game economy. And the reason why I bring this up is because we've seen supply tank games and pricing of games like Axie Infinity. It's just like the US government printing a lot of money. It's going to raise inflation. Things are going to drop in value, won't be worth what they think it was worth, reducing the ROI for people getting into this game. So those things were all things that whoever was the person answering AMA questions. They need to be more educated on being able to answer the hard crypto tokenomic questions, because you're getting asked this by people who are advanced in the space, who have been part of crypto projects, DeFi projects, and NFT projects. Other projects add burning, they add utility, they have to add in these ways to be able to balance the economy. And there's other projects putting in, building out data models and showing their data models and actively talking about how to combat all of the different excess supply of the token coming in. Otherwise, the project tanks. And we've seen this because they're not putting this into consideration. The value of the token decreases significantly. So we'll see how they handle this. Do I have faith that they'll be able to handle this because they have experience? The CEO was part of Decentraland. They have the money. They have the money to make this a great game. So I believe that they're going to be able to figure this out. But initially, this is a concern, a very big concern. Another big concern is we have no idea what the demand for the in-game NFTs are going to be. I get it. NFTs are all speculative. We're in a speculative market right now and highly inflated prices and potentially a huge, humongous bubble. That being said, the way that space and land, the way that the in-game land works, space, you're able to farm the in-game crypto and then you use that within your space. So you can use that to craft cosmetic items for the game. That's it. This was something that was not released earlier, so that when I bought land initially, I thought it would be used for more than just cosmetic skins. That's it. There's no other utility, there's no other like ecosystem. This is only for creating cosmetic NFTs that have no function on improving your gameplay. It's only visual only. The team's argument is comparing this to how Fortnite, CSGO, and a lot of these other Web 2 games make a lot of money on skins. And that the economy is going to be driven by only the people who have land, and land is going to be set at a specific number of land that are going to be available. That's all in good if they can pull this off, get mass adoption, and the people who create all of these stores to sell all of these skins, that there's going to be a demand for it. The big time team always talked about that the game comes first. The game comes first. They just want to make a good game. That also bugs me because they need to understand this is not only a game now. There's in-game economics that have real world impact, and that they also have to understand how to balance out the economics of it to be able to reward the people who came in early, or otherwise there was no point of setting these land sales for these absurd prices, and you should have just priced it at lower prices. Their thesis is that there's going to be significant skin sales that everybody with land can create, and that there's going to be demand for those skin sales for the people inside the game. And then there's a bunch of different levels of tiers, with the highest land being exalted, which also matches the skin, an exalted skin, or at least that's what they inferred. They're still a little hazy on the details. Looking at the price of an exalted land right now is almost $13,000. Is there going to be skins that people are willing to buy for that amount of money, when they're targeting their main audience is just going to be regular gamers that can also make money with NFTs? And they tried to compare, the person talking was trying to compare this to Bored Ape Yacht Club, of how it's a flex and it's a status symbol, and that people are going to be willing to buy those NFTs just to be able to flex. Different audiences. And I think the nuance of different audiences fell on this person's ear when somebody was trying to clarify, but they cut them off before they could actually get that question out. Bored Ape Yacht Club is investors, traders, and a lot of wealthier people that are putting money into this because they believe in Yuga Labs, they believe in the brand, and they also believe in the value that they're going to be able to get from owning a Bored Ape Yacht Club. We've seen them get massive value from the different NFTs that are released within platform, and then also getting airdropped ApeCoin. Big Time, their audience is going to be just gamers who are also interested in NFTs. This does not fit the stereotype of people who are getting the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So, is there a demand for high end, extremely rare NFT skins within the game? I don't know. I don't know. I play League of Legends. I play some of the more cheap games where the barrier to entry is low. You pay for the game, and it's like the cost of like buying a PlayStation console game or a PC game, and then that's all you pay. And then you can buy the DLC, you can buy the skins, and they're priced pretty low. Anywhere from like 5 to 20, maybe $35, but even $35 and above is expensive for a skin. Is this going to be able to translate to people wanting to get exalted skins that cost a little bit more? We don't know. We don't know if this high price tag for exalted spaces is justifiable, because we don't know if the demand is going to be there, especially considering that the audience is going to be regular people who do not have the funds to be able to buy those NFTs. Besides the NFT traders who are getting into this, we don't know yet. And that's pretty scary when you look at the fact that the only utility that you get out of these spaces is just going to be cosmetic skins. That all hinges on the fact that there's going to be demand for these expensive skins because other people are paying a lot of money for Bored Ape pictures and pictures of apes and cats. So why not these expensive skins exist within Big Time? Is their investment thesis and idea correct and accurate? We don't know. But I hope the team that is working on this and that adjusts and that balances this out, not only balances out the game, which I think they'll do a great job of balancing out the game, making it a great game to play that also incorporates NFTs, but also figures out the economic standpoint of the game. So that's probably one of the biggest concerns, and that was one of the things we were talking about in MVHQ. Was it seems like there's a disconnect between the Big Time team and the people who got into this as an investment. And why did you set your prices that high if you're not taking this into consideration? They may have not released any of those details yet. They said there's going to be more details released, so we'll see. The other thing is, all of these land that you can get, even the expensive exalted spaces, we know nothing about the percentages or the drop details and how hard it is to actually get these NFT items and these NFT lands. You can farm the exalted lands from the game. And I didn't know that buying exalted at first. I wish they let us know. I thought it was just gonna be like one special land sale for a set amount of people, and then they would just cap it there. Or you could just, or the only way to get it is to buy it. But instead, you can farm even the exalted, the higher expensive lands from the game. And if I knew that, I probably would never have invested that much, and I would have come down and just gone to one of the cheaper lands and then just played the game to try to farm one of the more expensive lands. That's probably what I would have done. But the team really believes that this is going to be profitable. I believe in the team to figure this out. I just hope that the team will balance out the drop rate with the high price tag so that it protects early investors at every level. Whether you bought one of the rare lands, the cheaper small rare lands at like $150, $200, $300, all the way to if you bought 13,000. There's some later investors when the price of land sales peaked at like $36,000, that somewhere in the between they're able to make that money back. I really hope that the team can deliver on their promises and that this can be the premier AAA market leader game for MMORPGs, because we've seen the life cycle for World of Warcraft. It's still going on today. And if we're able to build real economies within these games, then I'm all for it. Be very careful when looking at these different games and the chances that they could still mess up something even though the game looks great. If I were to do this all over again, I would have just waited. I would have still bought the gold pass to get in early, just traded, get back my initial investment. But now I have land, which is riskier because we don't know what the drop rate is and how the team's gonna handle that, and they could completely fumble this. And the influx of people of supply of land coming in from all the people playing right now could flood the market so much that it could tank the price even more. Here are my last thoughts. It's risky, but I'm still playing the game to ride the early hype. This is because it's a AAA game. It's high quality MMORPG. I love MMORPGs. It's like the first of its kind to enter the NFT space. They're gonna have first movers advantage. It's gonna be which is usually a big competitive advantage. And even though I'm highly concerned with these unknowns and the team's vocal focus to just be on the gameplay and make a great game, it still worries me that they're not focusing on the tokenomics aspect of it, because I've seen projects fail that have had great products, great teams, because they mess up the tokenomics. I want them to focus on making a great game, but you still have to know that the economy of the game still matters, because this is not no longer just a regular MMORPG. This is an NFT MMORPG with a working in-game economy that needs to be balanced just as well as the skills and everything else that the gameplay needs. The economy needs help with as well. Just like how our central bank and our government have to figure out how to balance inflation and growth, same with Big Time for them to survive and for the people within the economy to not suffer. And this is coming from somebody who's still getting into this and still going to play and still holding my 3 lands and my gold pass. Still extremely concerned, and I'm willing to be able to lose half or even up to a majority of it if the team doesn't deliver. I'll probably cut my losses away before that. I don't want to. It would suck if that happens, but I accept the fact that this is a high risk, high reward play. So my personal plan for this game and the early access is I'm going to grind out the gold early access, which gives you about 2 months before public release, and then about 1 month before the silver tier people can come into the game. To be honest, I'm probably going to play 8 to 12-hour days trying to recoup my initial investment. This is with a day job at a really busy Fortune 500 company. And then from there, I'm going to monitor the exalted spaces, which is the ones that I own. This recoup my initial investment so that I can cover my losses just in case there's a downturn. We're not in the best global economy right now. There's numerous things that could tank the price even more. So those are all things from a macro scale that I also take into consideration. I will be monitoring how fast the supply of incoming land is and how that's affecting prices, and if I should cut my land sale investment earlier, because balancing out with what I can potentially make from one of the exalted lands to the supply and how fast prices are tanking will depend if I get in or I get out earlier, or if I keep it and it's going to be a long-term great investment, which I'm hoping the team delivers, and that this can be a great investment, like buying land in Vegas before the boom when people were just making crazy money in there. But I always want to look at the downsides and try to minimize them as much as I can. So I admit I am over invested in this project because I was initially bullish on it. I love MMORPGs, but hearing the AMAs with different Big Time members who didn't know how to answer some of the hard technical questions left me bearish, second guessing my purchases and the team and what can be delivered, and if this is gonna net any ROI. I have no words, because after usually AMAs, when you listen to the founder, they're usually inspiring. They make you more bullish on the project, but listening to multiple AMAs, I just got more hesitant and scared and worried because they weren't addressing these questions, or if they are, they didn't have a great way of projecting that to the public. I have no doubt the team is going to deliver on a great game. They have the AAA gaming experience, and they also have the crypto experience being from Decentraland of balancing out the in-game token, the tokenomics of it. It's just compared to other games like Illuvium, compared to even Heroes of Mavia. When you look at Heroes of Mavia, they have a data model that they showed of how they're trying to balance out the in-game economy so that they find the right balance to keep it so that it's still profitable and it's still a great economy. Big Time doesn't seem like they're putting any of that work in yet. Or if they are, they're just not communicating to any of us and they're leaving us in the dark, making us all really worried about that. Those are my concerns. There's a lot of concerns. But if they can pull this off and this can be a home run, this has significant potential. Downside is huge. Upside is even bigger. High risk, high reward. That's why I'm willing to risk this, because they still have the experience and it's better than putting my money into some meme coin. And I get to play a game that hopefully can net me passive income and become a passive revenue stream. And like my friends investing in real estate in real life, maybe they come out with a scholarship program or some type of program that will allow us to rent out spaces, do something with them that will hopefully be profitable. I'm more bullish on other games because of how they're actively balancing it and thinking of the economy and the tokenomics of it. But we'll see. We'll see. It looks like a great game. I'm gonna be excited to play, and hopefully I can play enough to make back my money. So I'll create more videos on Big Time. I'll try to stream it if my internet lets me. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think of Big Time? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And do you have the same concerns, or are you just bullish and just want to play the game? Until next time, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you in the next video.